Hey, it's Viviana and welcome back in my darkroom. I'm super excited for this print day, and if this is your first time here and you're very new to either the darkroom or film photography in general, let me introduce to you my most special and favorite place in my whole home, which is my art studio, which happens to be a darkroom. I make photographs here and I absolutely love sharing my love for film photography. And in this video, like all the rest of my videos in my channel, I just bring you along behind the scenes of working in a darkroom. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back and joining me for these moments. It really means so much to me. And I hope you like this next video. Now, my last video was in Spanish. I really tried to make my channel and offer videos in both English and Spanish. If you haven't been here before, my name is Viviana. I'm a film photographer and I now live in Mexico. I've lived here before. I am Mexican, both my parents are Mexican, but I was born and raised in Big Sur, California, in the Monterey Bay, which I miss every day because it means the world to me. I love California, but I also really love Mexico. And being back here, I'm just one of those really lucky people that get to enjoy the two places that have made me the person I am. So it just means a lot to me. And I kind of got off. I got distracted with that for a bit. But in my last video, it was in Spanish, but I do welcome you to check it out if you don't speak Spanish. Anyway, because I made a beautiful print that means the world to me, and I will show it to you because today's video will be very different. And because I still have them here in the drying rack. So I worked with a really big paper, 16 by 20 fiber-based paper, and this is my favorite. If I could always work with this, I don't think I would ever leave my darkroom. So this is a portrait of my cousin Mila. It was taken back in Pacific Grove, California, where I used to live. And it's one of the places that I used to go photograph all the time. It was like my backyard and I love it and miss it. But now I have this beautiful print, which I think I will put in my office to look at daily. And yeah, I'm really happy about it. But today's video, I'm finally gonna work on something that I've had in my mind for such a long time, but I've just pushed it aside. And part of me doesn't think it will work out. And if you can give some input, if you can give me some input or ideas, or just tell me, hey, it's not worth it, don't even like try, maybe it's not gonna work out. Trust me, it's been in my mind for a long time. So yeah. But today I'm finally going to try it out. So like many artists, we have inspiration. I have some artists that I look up to, and since I started my YouTube video last year, I definitely have found inspiration in these women that are artists. And one thing that really caught my eye and that I thought was really special was their Patreon or their subscription, and like that monthly art that you mail out. I want to do something similar. I want to do like a snail mail art type of deal. And this is me brainstorming. So it might sound chaotic, and that's sorry, but I'm bringing you along for that. But I never thought I could do that with film, with prints I made in the darkroom. One, materials are super expensive, and I don't want to sell something too expensive. Like my silver gelatin prints, I do sell them on my Etsy, and they aren't that cheap. I wish they were because I want to share my art. So this is me trying to make it work, make that happen. And in order to do that, I cannot work with fiber-based paper. It's too expensive. I would have to use RC. And I've debated about that because RC isn't as archival as fiber-based. But I've also thought, maybe I'll make digital prints, but that defeats the whole purpose of my channel and why I'm even here talking to you guys in my darkroom. So that kind of just was scratched off. Now, I would have to use less material, so I'm going to make small prints that also so I can mail it and it won't be so expensive. I'm just trying to do all these things in order to like bring down the cost for me, but also for the person that wants to support me and enjoy my art. So I'm just debating about a lot. But today, finally, I'm just gonna try it. And the worst thing that can happen is that I just make tons of little prints and I just have them here. You know, it's not that bad. So we'll see. So thank you so much for being here with me for today. I hope it's a productive and good video. So let me just stop talking. I'm going to play my music, look through my negatives, and just see what looks good, what would be a good tiny print for my maybe, hopefully, future snail mail subscription. So thank you for being here with me. I know I said that a million times, but honestly, it means a lot to me. So thank you. And I'm just gonna get to work. So let's do it. I have another reject print to add to the reject wall. And oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I'm loving how this is coming together. I had so much fun working with this image. And yeah, it's just nice. I love seeing my past work in the darkroom. It really just encourages me. It reminds me why I'm here, and I love it. So after a couple of minutes of going through my negatives, I came across one that I thought was ideal for this project. And this photograph was taken a couple years ago in Peru. I shot it with my rolleiflexT. And let me tell you, when I first saw my contact sheet, I was devastated. Devastated that I ruined a photo, and it was so careless, my mistake. But let me take you back to that day. And it was beautiful. It was worth waking up at 3 in the morning to come hike this, which by the way, I did not hike. I had the help of a horse. I couldn't do this by myself. But it was a gorgeous day, and of course I was taking videos and recording my behind the scenes of taking photos. My husband was helping me like always, and there was something I completely missed. You see that little piece of paper? I didn't see that, nor did he. So when I put in the next roll of film, I again missed it. So that little piece of paper from Ilford stayed in the camera, and yes, it ruined most of my roll of film. It was devastating, and I felt stupid because I should have concentrated on what was important, and I didn't. And like always, I take so few photos with my film camera when I travel, so I had many days accumulated on that one roll of film. I even had my day in Machu Picchu on that roll, and they were slightly ruined. So this was a reminder to always be careful and just take in the moment and concentrate on one thing at a time. And it hasn't happened since, and I hope it doesn't happen again. I have already made smaller prints of this image, but I think it was like 5 by 7, and I still thought it was a charming photo, but it took me months to not hate myself for this mistake. And I really love this photograph. I actually have it framed in my office right now, and it brings me good memories now. It honestly does. And I thought this would be the perfect photograph to experiment for my possible Patreon or subscription. And I hope you like it too. I hope this image brings you some type of happiness about my silly little mistake. And honestly, it was beautiful. I did not record this moment because I think my husband was talking to the tour guide. He was sitting down and just enjoying his time, and I went to explore a little, and I just took this photograph quickly because I thought it was a special image. And yeah. So since last time I was in here in the darkroom, I worked with 16 by 20 photo. I have to change the easel, and I have this little one, which was perfect. and I'm working with the Intrepid compact enlarger. I still have not purchased my light bulb for my Bessler 67, my Darkroom 67S. So I'm using my Intrepid enlarger, and honestly, I'm really enjoying it. So I've been slacking on buying a new light bulb because honestly, I'm having a good time with the Intrepid enlarger. So no biggie, but maybe I should get like that light bulb soon though. I should. And I don't know why this brought me so much happiness, but using little trays, there's so much room in my sink, and it was just, it's a silly thing, but it brought me happiness. And I'm working with Kodak Dectool Developer, and I'm making sure I'm grabbing the working solution one. And I needed a new stop bath, so I'm making that this time around. If you see my last video, you'll see how by the end of the print day, my stop was purple, so that's not good. So we have to make a new one, and I'm using the Ilford Ilfa stop, and I've been using this for years. I love it, and before I moved from California, I made sure to buy many bottles of this, and I still have many left. So I'm happy about that. And yes, I still follow notes regarding my chemistry. You would think I would know this by heart by now, but I do not. I'm that type of person. It just doesn't stick in my head. And I wonder when the day will be when I will know this by heart. But for now, even after a decade, I still have to follow my notes. It's sad, but it's the truth. Although it hasn't been a whole decade that I've been in charge of chemistry, because for a good chunk of that time, I, at school, didn't have to do any of that. The chemistry was already done, and wouldn't that be nice to come into the darkroom and have already everything set and perfect? So I really took that for granted, but it has still been a couple years that I've been in charge of my own chemistry, and it's embarrassing that I've made so many mistakes along the way. But that's why also I have to follow the notes, because that's just who I am. It's sad, and that's why I never thought I would make a YouTube channel, because I don't I'm learning. I'm still learning. But I have fun sharing these moments with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for being here and still watching this video. This is testing Andres' newest paper. Oh man, it's not sharp enough! Okay.
Yeah, we.
I just ruined it. So before I put on the safe lights, I see the tape on the cutting board. I put that so I could feel around where I would put the paper, because, you know, it's there's hardly any lighting here, good condition. And this worked out great. I believe it's 4x6 or 4x5, the size of paper. And I could actually cut the 8x10 one sheet of paper into 4, and that worked great. So this really gave me an idea of how, you know, cost wise, I guess. And that was really exciting that I could get so much out of it. And this test part is paper that my friend gave me just recently, actually. It was paper that he used back in school years ago. I really didn't know if it was still in good condition, but it was a day of just testing it out, and hey, the paper worked out fantastic. So, oh, amazing music to my ears. And I'm excited to show you what this looks like.
Está chistoso ver unos prints tan chicos.
My husband has really been spoiling me in helping me film the behind the scenes, and I'm really loving these moments, sharing these with him, and yeah, I just want to share that too. And in just a moment, I'm going to adjust the lighting. I'm turning on the regular white light. So yeah, be careful. And here we go, you guys, the test strip. Looking beautiful, looking beautiful. And I know what to follow from this moment on. I was always really worried about the safe light that comes from the Intrepid enlarger and being so close with my paper, but it's safe to use, and I'm so happy I'm finally, after months, had the courage to do it because it's so helpful. All my safe lights that I have in my darkroom are so old. It's so dark in my darkroom, and that's why I couldn't really record any of this back. Also because I had a much older phone and I did upgrade to a better phone, so that helped. But definitely, I'm loving the safe light. I mean, look how dark it is in this little corner. I might, if I can get a new safe light, I might put it over there in that corner. It looks lighter now because I actually moved my safe light to hit to the other side of my darkroom. That's the only reason it's more, you can actually see me, but you can't see enough where I can show you how the image actually slowly appears in the developer. Hopefully one day though, I will get to that point because I have to share that part of this because it's magical, it's beautiful, I love it. And let's give it another try. I'm getting much, much closer to getting the correct exposure and the contrast. And for that, you just have to keep going. And I will talk about it shortly in just a couple of minutes and what I decided on and the exact notes on this print. But man, I'm really loving how it's coming along. I really, really love this photo. Okay, so I'm on my third attempt and I really like it, much more than the previous one. This is the previous, and I'll show you better in just a bit, but this one, I don't want to say it was flat, but I knew I could do something better. And that's what my third attempt was, which I think was successful. I had the previous one. Now let me mention, I'm using the Intrepid compact enlarger, and I adjust the contrast on this enlarger much differently than I would on my Bessler Darkroom 67S, which I love. And it's a color head, and I adjust the contrast by using the magenta and yellow. I normally do a split grade test, and I've been doing it for years. I really, really love it. Now for the Intrepid, I am using their contrast, which I believe is the FLT setting. This one, I had it at setting 2, and the exposure time is 6 seconds. The enlarger lens aperture, I have it at 16, I believe. And it looks good, but like I said, I knew I could do something better. Now, I adjusted the contrast, which honestly, I'm still learning how to use this enlarger. So if I'm doing it wrong, let me know, but I'm still learning. So I adjusted it. Now it's at, the FLT is at setting 4. So I just gave it more exposure time. I just did 2 seconds more. It was totally guessing it, but I really like it. I think it's the best print, and I think it's at the perfect setting. Now, I love the highlights. I love everything about it, but if you see that I kind of look bummed out, I'm just really thinking about my decision right now, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Just because it's smaller prints, it's not easier, and it's not faster. It is faster because it's RC paper instead of fiber base, but still, it's a lot of work. So I'm just really thinking about, will this work? I was worried because I thought at some point that I would have to dodge and burn, which would be pretty much impossible because I'm working with such a small image. It would have been not fun at all. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. By just adjusting the contrast, it looked much, much better. So that's really good. I did notice though in some that there were a little bit of spots, which means I have to decide, is it worth spotting? I can spot, but that's something to consider, you know, time-wise. I think for now, I will make a couple more. I won't make too many because I need to really think about this. So let's keep at it. I believe I only made one more, and then it was time to clean the darkroom. And this whole time I kept just thinking if this was going to work out, and I didn't just want to leave it at that, you know. I thought that this video should be ending on a good note, and that made me think of mailing this photograph to a close friend of mine. She lives in California, and her name is Clarissa. We've been friends since we were like 8 years old. We used to go to Captain Cooper in a Big Sur together, and she's just the best. She just came to visit me a couple of months ago here, and I've taken photographs of her in the past, and I thought it would be beautiful and a fun experience to just do that snail mail with her, send this to her. So I will share those moments with you guys. And just, yeah, I thought that was a good outcome for this day. And I love how these photographs turned out. I do so much. And they're RC paper, so they dried off pretty quickly. But let me take you to the next day. We are now in my office, in my home. And guess what, you guys? This is a great introduction to my cats. Just a couple of months. No, I don't know why it feels like I've had them for months now, but I've only had Harry and Draco for 1 month. So here you see Draco. And let me tell you, my dream has always been to have cats. I cannot tell you. I'm allergic, so this has been a dream come true. And my brother actually helped me get these cats. He brought them from Santa Cruz in California, and they're the closest to hyperallergenic that you can get. So I am in literal heaven. The gray cat on the right, that is Harry, but his original name was Gray. Now Draco, this one on the left, his original name was Emerald, but I changed it to Draco. And yes, I bet you can guess, I'm a Harry Potter fan. So I'm just so happy I could share these two with you guys. I've never owned cats, so I'm still learning. If you have any tips, let me know. And I just stay with me for a bit while I try to mail this. I did have to lock up, or I mean not lock up, but I had to put Harry and Draco in a separate room for a bit because it got kind of chaotic there. As you can see, a little paw on the photo. Clarissa, please forgive me. Okay, I guess I didn't put them away immediately. I knew Clarissa wouldn't be too devastated about a little cat print, but I did once they got interested in my plants. That was a no. No. I know these plants can be toxic for them, but they've never been drawn to my plants. I think they were just at this specific moment because I was here and my husband recording. So it was very interesting to them at the moment. Yep, that was Draco scratching the door. He does it lightly. He doesn't damage the door. It's no biggie. I know it's not Harry because he's much more relaxed. But eventually, they sneaked out. It's a sliding door, so after a couple of pressure movements, it kind of slides slowly. So you'll see them once again in this video. And they behaved a little bit better. They're honestly the sweetest cats. I believe they are a Devon Rex, but I'm not 100% sure. And they're just beautiful, beautiful cats. I'm so blessed, honestly. I love them. The whole time I was editing this video, they actually sat beside me in their little basket for the full day. They are just the best companions. And you guys, now we have to mail this out. So join me to downtown. And heading off to the post office, we have to go into downtown. This is the parroquia, and the post office is on Correo Street. And this is just about a 20-minute drive from my house. It's not that far, but I don't come down to the jardín as often as I should. And this is me really trying not to laugh. I'm fighting not to laugh for these like influencer moments. I mean, that's what it feels like, but maybe I'm completely wrong on that. But thank you for being here with me, sharing these moments with me, and this town, I spent my teenage years here. I love it. My husband, a little bummed out because the ice cream place we wanted to go to wasn't completely set up, but we found another one really close by. I ended up getting a pepino, which is like cucumber and mango ice cream. And I'll stop talking for a bit so you get to enjoy this little town for a tad bit. Sí, por favor. Alright you guys, that's everything for this video. I love to hear your comments about this tiny print project, and thank you for being here. I will see you next time. Please subscribe and like the video if you actually enjoyed it. So until next time, bye!